This video contains depictions of blood and gore, as well as spoilers for various Doom games. I think I owe all Doom 64 fans a big, fat apology. In my review of the game, I said I couldn't believe that some people considered it to be the best of the classic Doom titles. It had far too many flaws that I just couldn't ignore, but everyone else must have. Well, after having replayed Doom 1 for a different video, it seems that I was more guilty of that than anyone else. Because my god does it suck. And it baffles me that I never realized that. So, one last time, let's look at the original, the one where it all came from, and see how well it still holds up today. And of course, let's begin with the positives, namely with the fact that it really was the original. There's a reason it was so groundbreaking, so revolutionary, that it pretty much created the FPS genre. Technically Wolfenstein 3D should carry that torch, but no, not by a mile. Sorry BJ. And if not even its own titles were able to hold a candle to it, you'd think video games by other developers could? Don't kid yourself. Doom was the king. Without it, we wouldn't have a Duke Nukem, or Quake, or Half-Life, or Zero Sam, or literally any other shooter that we hold dear these days. Do I even have to explain how fun it is to play? How there exists a perfect harmony between weapons, enemies, and level design? It'd be like explaining why the invention of the wheel was important. Everyone and their grandma has already made a video on that. Like this one I quite liked. The game is just full of character. Like the fact you can use a chainsaw as a weapon, or even just your bare fists. Or how the starting levels are generic space stations, but you can still find little demonic pentagrams on the floor, implying that's how the demons arrived. The hell levels are even more impressive in that regard. Like the big inverted cross in E2M1, the meat cubes from E2M3, and pretty much the entirety of E3M4 House of Pain. That one especially is just full of these memorable, unique locations that haven't really been done again in any of the other Doom games. Which makes it my favorite hell level overall actually. And the iconic moments don't even stop there. Like the reveal of the Bruiser Brothers or the battle against the Cyber Demon. Halls of the Damned completely subverts expectations by lowering you into a pit of enemies in what you thought was the exit room. Warrens takes this a step further by taking you back to a level you've already completed. But once you reach the exit, it's revealed the whole map has been twisted by hell to mess with you, the player. How sick is that? Or even just the fact that after defeating the bosses of episode 1, you just die. You fail. There's no victory for you and no way home. The nightmare doesn't end, it just gets worse. That's metal as hell. Doom had a very troubled development and many ideas were cut. But you can't argue the final game doesn't have personality and stands out in a sea of clones and rip-offs. But of course, being the first also comes with flaws, many of them in fact. For instance, the game kind of peaks in episode 1, which explains why they released it as shareware in the first place. Anything beyond that gets worse with almost every level. I don't want to go through all the maps individually, so here's a quick mood chart. And remember all those things I criticized the other Doom games for? Well, they had to come from somewhere, didn't they? Levels are full of really questionable design choices, inconsistent texture usage, as well as tons of oversights in general. A couple stages are also just kind of annoying to navigate, either being extremely claustrophobic, labyrinthine, far too dark, or all at once. And welcome back, Cryptic Progression. I hope you missed teleporter mazes, because Unholy Cathedral has got you covered. It's even worse in E3M7, because now the teleporters are hidden in pools of boiling blood you wouldn't even think to enter. But at least the game comes to a satisfying conclusion and the final boss died while I wasn't looking. Whoops. Not that it matters, because my enjoyment had already stopped long before that point. So, all in all, the game sucks, right? Well, it definitely is the worst of the classic Doom titles, no contest there. It really has many issues that we can't ignore. Sure, the other games might share them as well, but at least they have other things to make up for them. Since it was the first, Doom 1 doesn't get that luxury. Instead, it starts out promising, but completely drops the ball near the end. And except for a few stages, it really doesn't do much that hasn't been done better by later titles. So if you wanna play it, then it's probably best if you stop after episode 1. Better to leave somewhat dissatisfied than burnt out. It really is a product of its time, unfortunately. However, if you go into it with the mindset of, this is old, this is jank, but there's still fun to be had, then you're going to have a good time. And this really applies to every single Doom title. Because despite their flaws, they offer things not many other games do. Doom 64 has amazing graphics and very detailed level design. And Doom 2 has intense combat and a large assortment of enemies. And Doom 1? Well, it really nails the feeling of everything going to hell. And I think that concludes this little review series of the original Doom titles. I might talk about things like episode 4, but in a different context. For now, I'd love to hear what you think. Would be neat to know how someone who loves Doom 1 feels about all of this. And if you've enjoyed the video and would like to see more, then please show me that with a like, a comment, by subscribing, and even by donating directly to my Patreon. Anything is appreciated. But for now, thank you very much for watching, have a wonderful day, and goodbye.